This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. I have a very small list of films from the last 10 years that I would consider classics, many of them up for debate, but the one that is pretty undeniable is Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. In every part of the process, Parasite is a masterclass in how to do it right, and it was recognized as such about as much as it possibly could have been. Palm, Oscar, Criterion. I can't think of much that it didn't win. That said, I don't think I've ever felt more stressed for a filmmaker than I've been for Bong Joon-ho these last few years. Talk about pressure. This man has never had more eyes on him. The expectations are through the roof. He could do basically anything he wants. So what does he do? This. And now that I've seen it, boy, I can't believe I've seen it. I have to say, it is one crazy choice. Mickey 17 is a science fiction film that takes place on a spaceship that has left Earth with plans to colonize a snow planet. It follows Mickey Barnes, an expendable on the spacecraft, which means he's assigned to perform dangerous, lethal tasks for the crew to research the results, and is then reprinted and cloned every time he dies. I feel like that's enough. Where this goes with that premise you've probably seen in the trailer, but in case you haven't, I'm gonna let you discover all of that on your own. This was no simple release, by the way. You'd think it would be, considering the success of Parasite, but no, it was difficult. The film is distributed by Warner Brothers. Historically, no issues there, right? And it was originally supposed to go wide on March 29th, 2024, a damn near entire year ago, but was then pushed all the way to 2025. This decision was ultimately made so that they had more time to finish the project because of these strikes and other reasons that were not disclosed. The film had taken a while to wrap itself up. But then it got pushed even further to April 2025 because of the Michael Jackson biopic pushing its date. And now for some reason it's coming out this week in March. I'm confused. I don't really care though, it's here. This fiasco though has caused for some speculation as to how weird this thing would be. Is Warner Brothers going to shelve it altogether? What is the release strategy here? At this point it sounds like they decided on a release based on hype from the trailer. Obviously, they do take into account competition, and I live in a bubble of Bong freaks on the internet who will do whatever to see this, but you would think the follow-up to Parasite starring Rob Pattinson would have zero issues performing anywhere at any time. No, maybe this video will age like milk. I just would think that there would be no hesitation with them putting this out. But now that I've seen it, in Warner Brothers' defense, I can kind of see the confusion. This is all complimentary, of course, but Mickey 17 is a tough one to put a finger on, which shouldn't come as a surprise if you saw, well, his last movie that defied genre labels as well. If Mickey 17 succeeds at anything, and trust me, it succeeds at way more than just this, it proves Bong's ability to blend genre, but maintain a clear vision through it all. To give you an idea of what we're working with here, there's a little bit of Chaplin, a little bit of Monsters, Inc., a bit of Terry Gilliam, a bit of Goodfellas, a bit of every film of Bong's. It's a space movie. Rob Pattinson sounds like he's in a Looney Tunes episode, and it feels like it's always a few steps away from being a post-2015 Adam McKay film. Does it sound like a shit show? Because it kind of is. But through all of that, it is still miraculously a clear-cut Bong Joon-ho movie and a Hollywood blockbuster. This does read like a Hollywood blockbuster, and that's crazy to me. This is also just the tone and the visual references. The ideas, what this film is actually about, is a whole other can of worms. Mickey 17 continues Bong's streak of exploring themes of greed, class, environmentalism, etc. Mark Ruffalo's character in the film is basically a Trump impression, though it could really be read as a take on a handful of world leaders. Bong said he isn't basing him off any particular leader, but there are red hats. And that's enough for me. And I won't spoil, obviously, but there is a moment in here that is so on the nose as a reference to a certain event that happened fairly recently. I had to look up after the fact when this film finished shooting, because damn, it's like a Simpsons level prediction. I'm absolutely shocked I've seen not a peep about this anywhere else. Anyway, Bong can say what he wants. Ruffalo is clearly channeling Trump, and I thought he was difficult to watch in all the right ways. It was a great performance. It was very similar to what he was doing in Poor Things, but unlike that, this was just unpleasant to watch, intentionally so. This will be my last point on this, but it had me wondering about the release schedule for this thing. Definitely a stretch, but it's a film where you have to wonder how it would have been received had it come out before this last election, or even before the inauguration. I mean, there are references to how Ruffalo's character lost 2 elections in the film and then fled the planet to start his own civilization. I mean, this seems like it would have hit really well in like 2021, but very different now. To me, a big part of Parasite's success was how it captured a moment and satirized it. It's the kind of film with the kind of tone that just hit much differently in 2019. clearly. Mickey 17 is a film that, had things been different, could have taken on a much different tone. It's also why I'd imagine Bong wants to distance himself from those comparisons as it morphs your view of the film in ways that are completely separate of what this wants you to feel. All of that said, I find this film's use of satire to be equally as sharp and thorough as any of Bong's other hits, even if it feels a bit overwhelming at times. My biggest issue with Mickey 17 is a nitpicky one. I didn't like how it wrapped up. I really didn't. I thought it was a little underwhelming. I love Bong Joon-ho's endings. He knows how to make a very memorable ending, but with incredibly simple imagery. I mean, talk about that Parasite ending. It takes you completely outside what you had been watching and ties up so many loose ends, all under one very simple sequence. The ending of Mother, come on now. He makes it look easy. I might walk this back someday, but Mickey 17 is the most un-Bong quality of this thing. It just feels unlike him. It somehow is tying up way too many loose ends and opening up so many other doors that don't feel conclusive at all. It really just left me feeling like there were entire missing chunks of the film that I wasn't entirely clued into. It's a shame considering how well cut the rest of this film is. Everything pre-title drop should be studied in editing classes. I mean, that's how you do it. Talk about a whirlpool of an experience. This also has a fantastic, oftentimes gutsy use of sound design, putting voices in the corner of rooms, cutting dialogue altogether. I mean, there's a lot going on here with language and communication. What can be solved and communicated without saying anything? Something I found particularly moving coming from Bong himself, who dropped the iconic line about overcoming subtitles. Oh, and the performances are great. Like, whatever Rob Pattinson is doing here, I ate it up. I thought it was fantastic. I can't say it'll work for everyone, but you can't call it boring. The one thing I will say is there's not enough Steven Yeun. A damn bummer. I thought we needed more of him. So listen, man. As a fan of Bong, it was damn near impossible that I'd be disappointed by this. His work is just simply enjoyable. It's funny, it's romantic, dark, gross, tense, and Mickey 17 might just be his most genre-less film. It's the hardest one to put in any box. Like the rest of his English language work, the absurdity he brings into these films specifically is maybe what keeps them from reaching the heights of his true hits for me, but this has to be one of the ballsiest movies I've ever seen, especially as a follow-up to something like Parasite, and I respect the hell out of that. It doesn't all cut together as cleanly as I wanted it to in the end, no, but it's a blast. Like any great satire, it let me take a step back and look at the world around me in a way that I found weirdly cathartic. Yes, it's bleak as hell. Yes, you're watching a guy die over and over again under leadership that hits a little too close to home, but it's also hilarious. Take notes, man, take notes. To sum it up, we needed this. Like, and I mean it this time, we needed this bad. So thanks for watching. Go watch Mickey 17 and have a damn good time. Form your own opinion and before you head out. I want to thank this week's sponsor, Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. My favorite part about Squarespace is the cutting-edge design. With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful website and a bespoke online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business. You can start with Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder, to get a fully custom website in just a few steps. Using basic information about your industry, goals, and personality to generate premium quality content and personalized design recommendations. They also offer a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates. No matter which route you take, your website is flexible to what you need. It doesn't matter how much experience you have with building websites, Squarespace is going to make it a breeze. And they're going to make it look really nice. When you make that really nice website, you're going to need to get it seen, which is why I love their SEO tools. You can get discovered fast with integrated Squarespace SEO tools. Every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more. So you show up more often on search engines and bring in more of your ideal customers. And how could we forget about the Squarespace domains? Squarespace domains makes it super easy to find the best name for your business at one fair, all-inclusive price. No hidden fees, none of that. You can feel secure about it. Every Squarespace domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools included to ensure your domain remains online and protected. Don't wait to claim your name. Not everybody has a unique and beautiful name like Karsten J. Runquist. Invest in your dream today. Stop waiting around. Head to squarespace.com/Karsten for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code Karsten to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.